Right, we're going to have a look at how to multiply a 2-digit number such as 73 by a 1-digit number such as 6. The usual way to set this out for traditional multiplication is to write the larger number on the top, the smaller number underneath, and because we're only multiplying by 6, which is a single digit value, this is actually short multiplication rather than long multiplication, so we only need one row underneath. If you like this method of multiplication and you know how to do long multiplication, you'll know that you'll need extra rows for that, so just be careful. This is just short multiplication. So we're going to start off by working out 6 lots of the 3, and if you know your tables or you're happy with using a multiplication grid, you should be able to see quite easily that 6 lots of 3 or 3 lots of 6 is 18. However, we only have single slots here, single digits for the units, the tens and the hundreds. So we have the units on the end as usual, the tens next to the units and the hundreds next to the tens, all on the left like that. So what do? We can't write 18 in the units box. There's only space for 1 digit in that units box. So what do? Well, we write the 8 in the units box and we carry the 1 over to the tens. If you think about the way the number 18 is made up, it is made up of 8 units and 1 10, so it's quite legitimate to do that. That's okay mathematically. And the next part of our calculation is to work out 7 lots of 6 or 6 lots of 7. And again, if you look at your multiplication grid or you know your tables, you'll know that comes to 42. Now this 7 isn't 7 units, it's 7 tens, which is why the answer that we get from this calculation goes in these 2 boxes into the tens and probably the hundreds box, because we are not actually multiplying 6 by 7 units, it's 6 units by 7 tens. So if you like, this is the same trick as 6 lots of 70, which is 420, which puts us into the right position. You don't need to worry about that. If that bothers you, then don't panic, but that is actually why it works, in case you're interested. So we've got 6 sevens are 42, but we had a 1 that we carried, which gives us 43. So again, we can't write 43 in the tens box, just like we couldn't write 18 in the units box. So we write the 3 in the tens box and we carry the 4 over, but because we are now at the end of our multiplying, we've used up all the digits, we simply write the 4 in front because there isn't anything to carry to. There's no more of the calculation left. So the answer here is that 73 times by 6 is actually 438. Let's have a go at another one. Let's just erase all of that. Let's try a second one. Let's have a different colour. Let's have some of that. Right, okay. So let's have 92 times by 8. So again, we would set this out in the same way. 92 on the top, 8 underneath. And we would start by working out 8 lots of 2. And you can do this in your head or you can write it down on the page as I am. It's entirely up to you. 8 lots of 2, if you know your tables or check your grid, comes to 16. So we put the 6 units down in the units position and carry the 110 across to the next part of our calculation, which we know is where the tens belong. Now we're ready to do 9 times 8 or 8 times 9. Remember, these are 9 tens, it's actually 90 rather than 9 units, but again, if you're not comfortable with that, don't panic too much. It's not going to change your answer. It just helps your understanding if you know that that actually is 9 tens. So we've got 72, 8 nines or 9 eights is 72, again using your grid or knowing your tables, but we carried a 1, so we have an extra 1 to include, so 72 and the extra 1 gives us 73. We write the 3 down, but because we're now at the end of our calculation, there's nothing here in front of the 9, we can also write the 7 down, so that we know that 92 times 8 gives us 736. I'll leave you with one to have a go at. Let's have 37 times by 4. Okay, have a go at that one. Pause the recording if you like, and then I'll quickly jot it through. You can check your answer. You can, of course, check your answer on a calculator. Okay, here we go with the answer then, nice and quickly, just so you can double check what you've done. So we've got 4 lots of 7 to start with, which is 28, so we write the 8 down and carry the 2 tens. 4 lots of 3 tens, which is 12 tens, plus the 2 we carried gives us 14 tens, so you should have that 37 times 4 is 148. You can make up some calculations of your own and practice them on the calculator to make sure that you have your final answer correct. Enjoy.